Did you know that one of the most beneficial natural beverages on earth can become problematic with just one improper addition? Many individuals commence their day feeling accomplished, juicing a fresh beet, pouring it into a glass, and believing they are fortifying their cardiovascular system, purifying their liver, and invigorating themselves for the hours ahead. However, what almost no one apprehends is that beets are incredibly potent, and akin to anything powerful, they command a degree of deference. Within this unassuming crimson root lie constituents capable of revolutionizing your circulatory function, dilating your blood vessels, bolstering your liver's resilience, and significantly enhancing your stamina. Yet, these very compounds also exhibit a strong reactivity when combined with unsuitable foodstuffs. And that is precisely where subtle disruptions commence. Every single day, countless individuals inadvertently concoct beet juice mixtures that inflame the stomach, instigate fermentation, elevate oxalate levels, overburden the liver, impede circulation, and even worse, nullify the very nutrients they intend to assimilate. The most unsettling aspect is that many of these detrimental concoctions appear wholesome on the surface. Numerous are prevalent recipes found in culinary texts, disseminated across social media platforms, or suggested by acquaintances who simply lack an understanding of the physiological processes at play. But today, you will gain this knowledge. Within this presentation, we will unveil 7 beet juice pairings you should absolutely avoid, including one that can pose a genuine risk to individuals over the age of 50 or those managing kidney or digestive ailments. Furthermore, I will provide you with precise guidance on how to consume beet juice optimally, ensuring your heart, liver, circulation, and energy levels all derive advantages without any adverse consequences. Remain with me until the conclusion. The insights you acquire today may permanently alter your approach to preparing this health-giving elixir. Combination number 1. Blending beet juice with lemon. A prevalent error many commit is adding a generous squeeze of lemon to their beet juice. It sounds virtuous, doesn't it? Vitamin C, a touch of zest, detoxification. What could possibly go awry? Quite a substantial amount in reality. Lemon possesses extreme acidity, and when this pronounced tartness clashes with the inherent compounds within raw beetroot, the pH of the liquid shifts instantaneously. For many elderly individuals, particularly those experiencing gastritis, acid reflux, or a delicate stomach, this can provoke irritation within mere minutes. People frequently report experiencing heartburn, nausea, or an upset stomach shortly after consuming this combination, without recognizing lemon as the instigator. However, the more significant concern lies in the effect on beetroot's nutritional properties. Beets are naturally abundant in plant-derived iron and beneficial pigments that support hematopoiesis and circulatory health. These nutrients necessitate a stable internal environment for proper absorption. When lemon excessively acidifies the mixture, it disrupts this process. Rather than facilitating absorption, the acidity actually hinders it, particularly the assimilation of iron, thereby negating one of the primary benefits anticipated from beet juice consumption. What was intended to promote energy and oxygenation can instead result in nothing but discomfort. Additionally, there is the issue of occasional dizziness or weakness experienced thereafter. This occurs because the acidic shock can hyperstimulate gastric acid production, especially in older adults whose digestive lining is already thinner or more fragile. And if you are contending with reflux, this pairing can further aggravate the esophagus. Lemon itself is not the villain, it is the quantity. A small dash for flavor might be innocuous, but substantial squeezes, half a lemon, or the juice of an entire lemon are where complications arise. If you appreciate a bright note in your beet juice, exercise restraint. Merely a few drops for freshness, never a copious amount. And if your stomach is sensitive, abstain from lemon altogether. Your body will express its gratitude. Combination number 2, mixing beet juice with honey or sugar. This represents one of the most common oversights and, regrettably, one of the most detrimental. Many individuals find the earthy essence of beetroot unappealing. Consequently, they attempt to modify it by incorporating honey, granulated sugar, or even sweet syrups. This seems innocent enough. After all, honey is a natural product, is it not? However, the instant you introduce concentrated sugars into beet juice, you fundamentally alter its metabolic pathway within the body. Beets are intrinsically rich in nitrates, which convert into nitric oxide, a compound that promotes vasodilation, enhances circulation, boosts vitality, and aids in blood pressure regulation. But when you combine beet juice with honey or sugar, this nitrate conversion process is impeded. The outcome? The very benefit most individuals seek from beet juice, improved blood flow, becomes significantly diminished. What you are left with is a saccharine beverage that causes a surge in blood glucose and offers merely a fraction of the cardiovascular support beets are designed to provide. For seniors, this conflict between sugar and nitrates carries even graver implications. Added sugars trigger a swift insulin response followed by inflammation and oxidative stress, particularly in those with diabetes, prediabetes, liver dysfunction, or metabolic syndrome. Honey, despite its natural origin, still functions as a rapidly absorbed sugar in the bloodstream. This can accelerate lipid accumulation in the liver, exacerbate insulin resistance, and precipitate energy lulls. And for individuals with elevated creatinine levels or kidney concerns, sugar overload compels the kidneys to work overtime, which is the antithesis of what your body requires. The encouraging news is that beetroot possesses a subtle inherent sweetness when prepared appropriately. Most individuals simply require a period for their palates to acclimate. However, if you genuinely need to mellow the flavor, opt for low-impact accompaniments such as green apples or cucumbers. They impart freshness, fiber, and hydration without disrupting nitrate function or placing undue strain on your blood sugar levels. In essence, sugar and beet juice are incompatible. If you desire beet juice to function as a natural therapeutic agent, preserve its purity. Your heart, liver, and energy reserves will acknowledge the distinction. Combination number 3, mixing beet juice with orange. At first glance, this pairing appears salubrious. Two fruits brimming with vitamins blended into a single revitalizing drink. However, for a considerable number of people, particularly seniors or those with digestive sensitivities, combining beet juice with orange can swiftly prove counterproductive. The core of the issue lies in acidity. Oranges are notably acidic, And when their acidic components interact with the natural sugars and compounds present in beetroot, the result is a predisposition to intestinal fermentation. This implies that the mixture begins to generate excess gas within the gastrointestinal tract, leading to abdominal distension, cramping, and uncomfortable pressure. For individuals with gastritis, acid reflux, or irritable bowel syndrome, this physiological response can manifest almost instantaneously. Yet, digestive well-being is not the sole consideration. Oranges contain substantial quantities of vitamin C. And while vitamin C is indispensable, an excessive amount within a single beverage can interfere with nitrate absorption. These are the very compounds in beetroot responsible for enhancing circulation and reducing blood pressure. When vitamin C predominates in the blend, the nitrates convert less efficiently into nitric oxide, which substantially curtails the cardiovascular advantages of beet juice. You believe you are supporting your cardiac system, but the combination quietly neutralizes its intended effect. This mixture also places additional demands on older digestive systems. The inherent sugars in both beets and oranges are rapidly metabolized when juiced and stripped of their original fibrous structure. They quickly enter the bloodstream. This can elevate blood glucose levels more precipitously than anticipated, particularly in seniors, individuals with prediabetes, or those experiencing fluctuating blood pressure. If you enjoy citrus flavors, it is considerably safer to consume beet juice and orange juice at separate intervals throughout the day, affording your stomach and circulatory system adequate time to process each independently. Beet juice performs optimally on a relatively empty stomach, whereas orange juice is best ingested earlier in the day with food to mitigate its acidity. Therefore, while the vibrant hue and flavor may appear inviting, the beet and orange combination is one that confers more detriment than benefit, especially when consistency, digestion, and cardiovascular health are paramount concerns. Combination number 4, mixing beet juice with vinegar. This may seem like an innocuous blend. After all, vinegar features prominently in detoxifying beverages, homemade tonics, and countless health regimens. However, in the context of beet juice, pairing it with vinegar is one of the most significant missteps one can make. Beetroot is naturally rich in nitrates, compounds that transform into nitric oxide and contribute to the dilation of blood vessels, improved circulation, and maintenance of healthy blood pressure. Vinegar, conversely, is intensely acidic, and this acidity can degrade a considerable portion of these nitrates before your body has an opportunity to utilize them. In essence, you forfeit the primary benefit that renders beet juice so valuable. But the complications extend beyond nutrient depletion. The high acetic acid content in vinegar can irritate the stomach lining when combined with raw beet juice, particularly for individuals already grappling with reflux, gastritis, or a sensitive digestive constitution. Many seniors describe a burning sensation, nausea, or a feeling of profound gastric heaviness shortly after imbibing this concoction. And given that both beetroot and vinegar influence blood pressure, beets, by lowering it in vinegar, by affecting sodium and potassium equilibrium, the combination can precipitate unanticipated drops in pressure, dizziness, or feelings of weakness, In individuals with naturally low blood pressure, for anyone attempting a detoxification regimen, introducing vinegar might seem appropriate, but the reality is precisely the opposite. Rather than assisting the liver in operating more efficiently, the acidity compels the liver to exert greater effort in rebalancing your internal pH. This translates to increased metabolic burden, not diminished. And for individuals with renal compromise, this augmented acid load becomes even more problematic, forcing the kidneys to neutralize substances that the body should never have had to contend with in the first place. The most effective strategy is straightforward. Maintain the purity of your beet juice. If you desire a lighter, more refreshing texture, incorporate water, cucumber, or a low-acid fruit such as green apple. Vinegar has its own merits, just not when commingled with beetroot. Utilize it in salad dressings or culinary preparations, but keep it well removed from your morning beet juice if you aim to safeguard your stomach, your blood pressure, and the very nutrients that establish beetroot as a health-promoting food. Combination number 5, mixing beet juice with milk or dairy products. Some individuals attempt to blend beet juice with milk to achieve a creamier consistency, but this represents one of the most ill-advised pairings one can undertake. On the paper, it may appear harmless. Beets for their nutritional value, milk for its protein content. However, within your body, this mixture provokes reactions that result in digestive distress, nutrient depletion, and inflammation. The issue originates from the interaction between protein and acidity. Beetroot possesses a natural acidity, and when beet juice encounters milk proteins, particularly casein, it triggers premature curdling. This curdling does not occur gradually, as in yogurt fermentation. It happens abruptly within the confines of your stomach. The consequence is sluggish digestion, fermentation, and uncomfortable symptoms such as bloating, gas, reflux, and a sensation of significant gastric heaviness that can persist for extended periods. But there is more to consider. Milk requires a very specific digestive environment, while beetroot stimulates gastric secretions and bile flow. When these two processes are in conflict, your body struggles to effectively metabolize both foodstuffs. This means you absorb diminished amounts of calcium from the milk and fewer vitamins from the beetroot. This is the precise inverse of the intended outcome for most who prepare this ostensibly healthy smoothie. For individuals with lactose intolerance or slow digestion, which becomes more prevalent after the age of 50, this combination frequently culminates in nausea, cramping, or a rapid onset of gastric acidity. This pairing can also place an excessive burden on the liver. Beet juice enhances nitric oxide activity and improves circulation, while dairy slows digestion and thickens gastric contents. When consumed concurrently, the liver must work harder to filter metabolic byproducts from both substances simultaneously, thereby increasing inflammation rather than mitigating it. For individuals experiencing fatty liver disease, sluggish digestion, or a history of reflux, this combination should be entirely avoided. If you desire a creamier beet-based beverage, there are safer alternatives available. Coconut water, for instance, provides hydration, supports electrolyte balance, and blends harmoniously with beetroot without inducing digestive conflict. Cucumber also imparts a smooth texture and refreshing quality, while aiding in kidney, and liver purification. These pairings facilitate more efficient bodily function rather than imposing additional strain. Dairy products have their place, just not within your beet juice. Maintain their separation, and your stomach, liver, and energy levels will express their appreciation. Combination number 6, mixing beet juice with spinach. In isolation, beets and spinach are nutritional powerhouses. However, when combined in the same juice, particularly in their concentrated raw form, you inadvertently create a biochemical predicament that your kidneys and skeletal system find unwelcome. Both beets and spinach are exceptionally rich in oxalates, natural plant compounds that bind to essential minerals such as calcium, magnesium, and iron. When ingested in substantial quantities or paired together, oxalates can overwhelm your body's capacity to process and eliminate them. The most significant risk is the formation of kidney stones. Oxalates originating from both foodstuffs coalesce with calcium in the kidneys, forming calcium oxalate crystals. These are the most prevalent and agonizing type of kidney stone, particularly for individuals with a history of stones, compromised kidney function, mild dehydration, or even insufficient magnesium intake. This combination can swiftly induce a state of severe oxalate overload within the body. While you may not experience immediate repercussions, the crystals silently accumulate, progressively increasing your risk over successive weeks. Another concealed issue is mineral obstruction. Oxalates sequester vital nutrients, notably calcium and iron, thereby hindering their absorption by your body. Consequently, while many individuals combine beets and spinach under the assumption that they are enhancing their juice's potency, the reality is quite the opposite. You assimilate fewer nutrients, and your digestive system must exert greater effort to expel what it cannot utilize. Over time, this can weaken bones, exacerbate anemia, or contribute to fatigue and muscular debility. Individuals with gastrointestinal conditions, such as irritable bowel syndrome, gastritis, or low gastric acidity, are particularly susceptible. High oxalate juices traverse the digestive tract too rapidly, leading to intestinal irritation and manifesting symptoms like bloating, cramping, loose stools, or an urgent need for bowel evacuation. And seniors who already possess a diminished capacity to clear crystal-forming compounds face a significantly elevated risk of oxalate accumulation. This does not imply that spinach is detrimental, nor that beetroot should be eschewed. It simply signifies that they should not be juiced in conjunction, especially in large volumes. If you favor leafy greens with your beet juice, select low oxalate options such as kale, mint, celery leaves, or romaine lettuce. If you have a fondness for spinach, consume it cooked or separately at a different time of day, not blended raw with beets. Your kidneys labor tirelessly every moment of your existence. This is one challenge they should not be compelled to confront. Combination number 7, mixing beet juice with carrots. Beets and carrots appear to be an ideal pairing. Two vibrantly colored, nutrient-dense root vegetables frequently combined in juices, smoothies, and detoxification blends. In isolation, each vegetable offers remarkable health benefits. However, when juiced together in a concentrated form, particularly when raw, they generate a silent overload that your kidneys, liver, and blood sugar regulation simply cannot tolerate. Both beets and carrots are root vegetables high in oxalates. When consumed separately in moderate portions, oxalates are manageable for the majority of individuals. But when you combine them into a single potent juice, the oxalate concentration escalates dramatically. This substantially amplifies the risk of calcium oxalate kidney stones, especially in seniors, individuals with diabetes, those who are dehydrated, and anyone exhibiting even minor renal impairment. The oxalates from both root vegetables bind tenaciously to calcium, forming sharp crystals that accumulate unobtrusively until they precipitate pain, inflammation, or urinary complications. The secondary concern is the blood sugar load. Both beets and carrots contain naturally occurring sugars. When you juice them, you remove the fiber that regulates absorption, meaning these sugars rapidly enter your bloodstream. For individuals experiencing insulin resistance, prediabetes, fatty liver disease, or a sluggish metabolism, this combination can induce noticeable glucose spikes, followed by fatigue, cravings, and heightened inflammatory stress. Over time, these fluctuations render blood sugar more challenging to control and can exacerbate metabolic conditions. Some individuals also report digestive discomfort following the consumption of this mixture. Lacking fiber to buffer the sugars and oxalates, the juice ferments rapidly within the gut, generating gas, bloating, and a sensation of gastric heaviness. Seniors with slower digestion or reduced gastric acidity are particularly prone to these symptoms. Once again, the error lies not with the vegetables themselves, but with the concentrated combination. Each root is wholesome when consumed whole, cooked, or enjoyed separately on alternating days. However, routinely juicing them together compresses an excessive quantity of sugar, an overabundance of oxalates, and a deficiency of fiber into a single beverage that your body was not designed to metabolize. A more prudent approach is straightforward. If you are consuming beet juice today, forego the carrot. And if you desire carrot juice, enjoy it independently or blended with low oxalate, low sugar additions such as cucumber, celery, or a small portion of green apple. This method allows you to support your kidneys, safeguard your blood sugar levels, and still derive the nutritional advantages of both root vegetables, just not within the same glass. How to consume beet juice optimally. Now that you are aware of the combinations that subtly negate beet's extraordinary healing properties, let us transition to what genuinely proves effective. Beet juice stands as one of the most potent natural remedies for enhancing circulation, boosting energy, supporting liver function, and managing blood pressure, but only when consumed correctly. The majority of individuals commit two primary errors. They consume excessive quantities, and they combine it with inappropriate ingredients. Your body does not necessitate a massive detoxification surge. It requires the appropriate dosage at the opportune moment, prepared in the correct manner. Number 1, respect the dosage. 1 medium-sized beet per day is sufficient. Beets are rich in natural nitrates which convert into nitric oxide, thereby improving blood flow and reducing blood pressure. However, excessive nitrate intake or an overabundance of oxalates can strain the kidneys and may lead to dizziness or gastrointestinal discomfort. 1 medium beet, or approximately 100 to 120 milliliters of freshly extracted juice, represents the ideal daily consumption amount, ample to invigorate energy and circulation without placing undue stress on your system. Number 2, consume it in its pure form. Avoid any added sugar or sweeteners. Beet juice functions most effectively when it is unadulterated. Incorporating refined sugar, honey, or even purportedly healthy sweeteners causes a spike in blood glucose and diminishes the efficacy of nitric oxide. Your body assimilates nutrients more efficiently when the flavor profile is natural. If the earthy taste proves challenging, blend it with green apple, a gentle option that supports digestion without compromising the beneficial effects. Number 3, drink it on an empty, light stomach. The optimal timing is first thing in the morning or 30 minutes prior to lunch. When your stomach is relatively empty, the conversion of nitric oxide is more robust, digestion is smoother, and the energizing impacts are more pronounced. Refrain from consuming beet juice immediately after heavy meals, as delayed digestion impedes the rapid activation of nutrients. Number 4, freshness is paramount. Avoid prolonged storage. The nutritional components of beets begin to oxidize within mere minutes of extraction. Stored juice loses its potency and may commence fermentation, particularly after 12 to 24 hours. Freshly extracted beet juice delivers the most potent nitric oxide boost, the most beneficial liver-supporting betalains, and the fullest antioxidant impact. For maximal benefit, consume it within 10 to 15 minutes of preparation. Number 5, sip it slowly. Do not gulp. Beet juice is not intended as a rapid ingestion. It is a functional tonic. Sipping it gradually allows your digestive system to process the nitrates at a steady pace, preventing the overwhelming of your stomach or bloodstream. Seniors, in particular, observe a more stable blood pressure response when consuming beet juice in a measured manner. Number 6, rotate its consumption. Avoid adhering to the same blend daily. Your kidneys, liver, and digestive tract benefit from dietary variety. Alternate beet juice with low oxalate options such as celery, cucumber, or leafy greens. This practice safeguards your electrolyte equilibrium and curbs the gradual accumulation of oxalates over extended periods. When imbibed appropriately, in its unadulterated form, in measured quantities, freshly prepared, and at the optimal juncture, beetroot elixirs evolve into a potent daily regimen, bolstering your cardiac function, cognitive acuity, vitality, and the body's cleansing mechanisms, all while circumventing the perils of overindulgence or nutrient disruption. In essence, consuming beetroot juice can represent one of the most profoundly beneficial shifts you can integrate into your daily routine, enhancing blood flow, aiding your liver's function, elevating energy levels, and promoting more efficient cardiac performance. However, as we have explored, the manner in which you consume it is as significant as the act of consumption itself. Inappropriate pairings can precipitate fermentation, lead to gastric distress, impede nutrient uptake, and even heighten the likelihood of renal calculi formation. Adopting the correct approach transforms a humble root vegetable into a potent natural remedy. Therefore, the next occasion you prepare your beetroot beverage, bear in mind, maintain its purity, ensure its freshness, and keep its preparation straightforward. A single average-sized beet, the opportune moment for consumption, and an absence of detrimental additions. Allow this liquid sustenance to revitalize you as nature intended. Should today's presentation have enlightened you regarding an error you were unknowingly committing, kindly bestow a like upon this video. This gesture not only supports our efforts, but also signals to YouTube the importance of genuine, evidence-based health guidance for mature individuals. Disseminate this information to anyone who regularly consumes beetroot juice. You may avert an unrecognized health issue. Utilize the comment section to disclose which preparation method you are employing and what alterations you intend to implement from this day forward. Furthermore, ensure you subscribe to Ageless Vitality and activate notifications to remain abreast of our subsequent scientifically validated advice. Your well-being is a consequence of the minor decisions you make each and every day. Make discerning, straightforward, and vibrant choices.